Sometimes we forget why we're here. It's easy to fall off track. These help us remember.
These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Growing up I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith is falling beneath your knees and you can't breathe. Everything you see reminds you of what you're not or something you won't be. You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business. Not because they wanna do it, just because they heard it pays. And who the fuck wants to be poor knowing that's how we've been raised? Society is getting heavy, I can feel the weight. The pressure of success is like 100 million pounds of shame. And that's the reason I'm staying up late, trying to find a way to escape the stereotypes this day and age is making me feel like the only way I'll be happy is getting signed to a label and making money through rapping. I wanna share my emotion because this world is attacking the very principle of life that lets the people be happy. If you don't have a reason to breathe, why even live? These battle scars are impressions of everything that it is.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Now, if I had a voice that reached 100 million people, I'd tell them there's a reason that we're all created equal. Cause some decide to be great and some decide a sequel to an average person's life is simply what they want to be. So you make your decision, all I know is what I'm given. Won't define the life I lead or the way I dwell in existence. I've seen a greater image on the walls of where I'm living, and the words twisted and scripted remind me of something written. Faith is a gift that is given down to the people. If one believes it, one receives it. It's given if it is needed. Don't ever think you're trapped in a life that you never wanted. Your options are infinite, that's some mathematical logic. I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Well, hello everyone. How are you doing? Oh, my hair is a hot mess. It's been a busy day. I wish I could tell you what I was doing, but let's just say it was for the LP. Oh boy, let's comb this rat's nest out. Where's my brush? Oh, here it is. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. And this will be an interesting show. You might recall, and maybe I'll stick it up in the high bar or low bar if I remember, that I did a show, maybe 3-4 months ago, entitled LP History, Oregon 1995 and Michigan 2023. And what's the points of these shows? Well, there's a couple. First of all, those of you who think, and good evening everyone, I'm going to stick comments up now. Those of you who think that there's something unusual, whether this is sad or not, unusual about the dramatic situation in the party, I'm sorry, baby dolls, but you just don't know LP history. A perusal through LP history will tell you that, unfortunately, it's not unusual. And the time frame we're talking about, if you noticed, I said my prior video was Oregon 1995. And oh my goodness, Arizona 1995. There were 2 state parties during the chairmanship of Steve Dasbach, a moderate, in which there were rival groups claiming to be the state party. Oh no! Now, I'm not saying this to criticize Steve at all. I am doing this to show the hypocrisy of some people today who are acting like what's going on right now is unusual. It really isn't, unfortunately. And if you remember last term, there were 2 state parties that happened in as well. So this is just libertarians. There's also a letter, maybe we'll talk about this one show. It was during the first year of the party or the second year, where immediately after California got affiliated, people were writing the National Party begging them to disaffiliate California or depose the chair or just some kind of just crazy pants stuff. But, so, I'm showing that there's nothing new under the sun. And I'll remind you, and I'm not going to mention names because it's not important, though you'd be surprised, I think, if you heard it. During that same time frame, the national treasurer resigned, and it would be someone that you know, and it was quite dramatic. The treasurer was alleging that Chair Dasbach wasn't properly instructing the executive director to get him financial filings on time. Mr. Dasbach denied it and said the treasurer never said anything about it after mentioning it once. I mean, it was quite dramatic. Who was right? I don't know. And to be honest with you, was that 2005? I'm not good with math. How long ago was 1995? 2005, 2000. It's almost 30 years ago. I don't care. The statute of limitations has expired on that drama. But I'm just saying, it was quite a dramatic resignation with accusations of one officer against the other. And this was during Steve Dasbach's reign. And the only reason I'm mentioning his name is because I like Steve. But Steve's been doing a lot of flapping his gums about, oh my God, I can't believe what's going on with this state party or that state party or the LNC. Mr. Dasbach, things were not peaceful during your chairmanship. Do I think it's your fault? No. It's just the way things are. But I'm not going to let you pretend differently, because these are just the facts. And I, in fact, think you handled it quite well. If you recall, I've often said that I think you're one of the best chairs that this party has had. And my opinion on that hasn't changed. And it's precisely because of these conflicts. I think you handled them exactly right. And I think the way you handled Oregon and the way you handled Arizona is exactly the way this LNC is handling Michigan. And I find it quite hypocritical that you're critiquing it today when it's exactly what you did in 1995 with 2 state parties. So we looked at Oregon. Hopefully I'll stick that link up there. But if you recall, the LNC voted on who was the proper affiliate, told them that they were honoring the Oregon's internal judicial committee processes and recognizing the board that the Oregon Judicial Committee recognized. That should sound very familiar. Now, Arizona was a bit different. I don't know all the details in Arizona, and I see Nathan's here. Nathan probably knows more. And Arizona went on a long time, and it did come to a head in 2000. During the presidential campaign of Harry Brown, where Arizona was actually disaffiliated. But that's 5 years from the situation we're talking about now. But I think the genesis of the 2000 incident started here in 95. But from what I can tell from the documents, is there was a dispute in the state party as to who was properly following state law. And Arizona is differently ran, including today, than a lot of other state parties. When I was Region 1 representative in 2016 to 2018, and I had to learn all of the states, Arizona was one of my states, I was flabbergasted to first learn, like they have elected precinct men who are like on the board, like they're elected at public elections. It was just really strange to me. And Arizona is ran differently, at least from Colorado and many state parties, and that the county parties are far more important than they are like in Colorado. In Colorado, we are absolutely run by the state board. And then the county parts, it kind of mirrors the LNC with state affiliates. Our counties here are really apart and separate from the state board, and the state board provides general guidance. Arizona is not that way. Maricopa County, Pima County, I mean, those counties, they're sometimes larger and more important than the state board is. And whether you like that or not, it really doesn't matter. I'm just giving you a bit of the difference. Arizona is really different. And also the way ballot access there is really different. When I was Region 1 rep, I used to look up every single county because they had to have a certain percentage of registered libertarians, and it wasn't statewide, it was per county. And you could lose ballot access at the county level and still have it at other counties. Very unusual. But in 95, apparently there was a dispute between the Pima County Libertarian Party and the Arizona Libertarian Party. And Pima, from what I can tell, was arguing that they should be the state party because they were actually following the state regulations and the state party wasn't. The state party claimed they were, or to the extent that it didn't matter because we're libertarians and screw the state, whatever. That the argument was over who was following state law. And Pima ended up suing the state party. And we're going to see what the national party had to say about that. Very interesting. So if you think anything that's going on in Michigan is the Mises Caucus. No, Steve Dasbach behaved exactly this way. And one thing Steve's not is Mises Caucus. He's not even Mises friendly. So let's start to take a look at these letters, shall we? So I'm going to have to go to another screen. And the first letter, I believe, is from Mr. Dasbach to the chair of Pima County, if I remember correctly. So let's go. No, this is the it was a to whom it may concern letter. Okay. To whom it may concern. We're going to read this aloud. It's very interesting. The Libertarian Party headquarters has received several inquiries over the past month. Now, if you remember, the Oregon letter, I think, went out in August, same year, over the past month regarding the status of the Arizona affiliate of the Libertarian Party. I feel that it is important to clearly state the position of the Libertarian National Committee on the matter to all concerned individuals. Oh no, they were taking a position. Just wherever I say Arizona here, just think in your head, Michigan. And anyone who's lathered up over Michigan, you should be just as incensed at Steve Dasbach and call him a violator of state autonomy. According to the bylaws of the National Libertarian Party, funny, this is going to start to sound really familiar, there shall be no more than one affiliate party in any state. The political entity recognized by the Libertarian National Committee as our affiliate party in Arizona is the Arizona Libertarian Party, currently chaired by Rick Tompkins. It seems to me I've seen a similar sentence like, the recognized affiliate by the Libertarian National Committee as our affiliate party in Michigan is the Libertarian Party of Michigan, currently chaired by Andrew Chatterton. Wow, this just seems really familiar to me. Also, according to our bylaws, oh no, is he going to cite the trademark bylaw? Steve Dasbach, who said that we shouldn't be doing that? Also, according to our bylaws, no person, group, or organization may use the name Libertarian Party or any confusingly similar designation except an organization to which the National Libertarian Party grants affiliate party status. It does go on to say or is otherwise provided for in these bylaws, but that's not relevant here. The Libertarian National Committee, pay attention, remains fully committed to what? Enforcing this provision. Be still, my heart. Steve, you scandalous man. The only way that another and now this next paragraph is super important to the current situation. I'll explain why. The only way that another organization could be recognized as the actually, I'll explain why at the end, because there's another section in this letter that's going to tie it all together. The only way that another organization could be recognized as the Arizona Libertarian Party with recognized affiliate party status would be if the currently recognized Arizona Libertarian Party was first decertified or otherwise disaffiliated by the Libertarian National Committee, according to our bylaws. And then he cites the disaffiliation bylaw. There is absolutely no reason to believe that the Arizona Libertarian Party is in violation of any Libertarian Party platform or bylaw provision that would provide just cause for such an action. Now, pay very close attention. I understand that there is some speculation that another organization calling itself the Arizona Libertarian Party might someday be officially recognized by the state government. However, recognition by state law or lack of recognition is not a factor mentioned by our bylaws in our process of granting affiliate status. This would certainly not constitute grounds for identifying an existing affiliate, for decertifying, an existing affiliate and granting recognition to the state-recognized organization. The Arizona Libertarian Party, like all of our affiliate parties, is governed by its own set of bylaws. Any changes in the organizational structure or leadership of any affiliate party must be handled in the manner specified in their bylaws. That means the LNC has to look at their bylaws. The next convention of the Arizona Libertarian Party will be held April 29th through 30 in Phoenix. Any internal disagreement over organizational structure, leadership, or the future of the Arizona Libertarian Party should be resolved within the context of that convention. Beautifully handled, Steve, and it's exactly how we've been handling Michigan. But it gets better. So apparently this letter didn't convince everybody. But I want to point out a couple things here. Notice that he raised the possibility that the state might recognize the other group. And Steve pretty much said, we don't care. Our affiliate is our affiliate. The state can go pound sand. So let's analogize this to Michigan. And why did Steve say that? Because we already have an affiliate. You can't just unrecognize and recognize somebody else. You actually have to disaffiliate them. So in Michigan, there's several court actions, one of them initiated by the LNC, one of them by the bank. Ultimately, obviously, for rights enforcement damages, things like that, obviously the federal court case matters. But what it doesn't matter for is the identity of our affiliate. No matter what happens in that case, our affiliate is still going to be the affiliate that's the affiliate now. No matter what happens in the state case, our affiliate is still the affiliate chaired by Andrew Chatterton and his successors. There's nothing that can happen in either of those state cases that can change that. The only way that can change is if the LNC disaffiliates and reaffiliates with another group. So all of this time and money that they're spending ultimately is not ever going to get them what they think they want, because we have officially recognized the current affiliate. The only way they can challenge that is through the National Judicial Committee and claim alleged constructive disaffiliation. That's the only remedy they have, because no matter what happens in these cases, there might be damages. Probably the attorneys are the only one that's going to win. There could be certain rights to certain properties. It's not going to change who our affiliate is. And I don't think that's really gotten through the heads of the knockoffs in Michigan. But now it's going to get better, because someone that's siding with the knockoffs is former LNC counsel Bill Hall. Let's see a letter that Bill Hall sent in the Arizona situation. Now, I'm going to grant that he was their attorney at the time. That doesn't mean this reflects Bill Hall's personal feelings because, you know, he was an employee. Though I would say, as an attorney, he wouldn't, I don't know. I'm not saying this would have been unethical. Me, as an attorney, if my client asked me to send a letter that I had a fundamentally ethical problem with, I wouldn't do it. I'm not sure that's any kind of requirement. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I am just speaking personally to myself. And Mike says that JC ship has long sailed and sunk. I'm not in the JC, so I obviously don't have any standing to say this, but I'm going to tell you my opinion as an LNC member. Take it for what it's worth. That JC ship has long sailed when it comes to automatic appeal rights under the disaffiliation provision. That expired 30 months after a reasonable date that they would have been put on notice. And I think there's two reasonable dates there. One would have been when they received the cease and desist letter, or a week prior when the LNC voted to send the cease and desist letter. Whatever of those two you pick, it still expired in April. However, I do think they have standing to petition because I think they can appeal the decision of the LNC to send the cease and desist letter. There are no time frames on appeals of LNC decisions. Now, that would have to be up to the JC. I'm just telling you my personal opinion. If the JC were to receive an appeal, I would urge them to take it under that other provision. But I told Mike Salaba as well that that's an interpretive matter that would be up to the JC. Here's my particular point of view on it. Those letters I sent to Salaba are public. They are a exhibit to the in the filings. I think they're an exhibit to the plaintiff's reply to the response. I love the way it's this daisy chain. So plaintiff's reply to defendant's response to plaintiff's motion for preliminary injunction. Follow that trail. But the emails I sent to Mr. Salaba are in there. But okay, here's the letter from Bill Hall, again, sent at the direction of the LNC. I think Dan, I can't read that name, was the chair of Pima County at the time. Dear Mr. D, we represent, I don't know why he said we. I thought that was really weird. Is this the royal we? I've never seen this in a letter before. But anyway, I think it's probably a typo. We represent the National Libertarian Party and its governing body, the Libertarian National Committee, Inc. This letter is written on their behalf. It's just weird. I guess he probably means himself and then maybe the two carbon copy, which was Steve and Rick Tompkins. Rick Tompkins was the chair of the legitimate affiliate. Okay, anyway, I'm going to get over that we thing. It's just really odd to me. We have been advised that you are, one, holding yourself out to Libertarian Party members, contributors, and supporters in the state of Arizona as the Arizona Libertarian Party. Ooh, that sounds familiar. Two, using our name Libertarian Party as your own verbally, and in fundraising letters and other written publications. That sounds familiar. Now remember, this is 95. Websites weren't really a thing then. I mean, there might have been some, but state parties probably didn't have websites back then, so that's why it's like written publications. 3, soliciting funds for membership in the National Libertarian Party. And 4, generally attempting to convince government agencies, private institutions, and the public that you are the officially designated affiliate of the National Libertarian Party for the state of Arizona. Just stick in Michigan there, and it will seem like it wasn't 30 years ago. In fact, the Libertarian Party has not designated you as its affiliate. Oh, so we're allowed to do that apparently. I don't think Bill would have sent a letter that he thought flagrantly violated the bylaws. as its affiliate for the state of Arizona, okay, has never licensed the use of its name Libertarian Party to you and has not authorized you to solicit and collect funds on its behalf. This next sentence is just delicious. I agree, Bill. Your actions constitute misrepresentation, trademark infringement, obtaining money under false pretenses, and theft. Yes. Yes, it does. And are actionable under numerous federal and state criminal and civil laws. We demand that you cease these activities immediately. If you do not, the Libertarian Party will have no choice but to take legal action against you. So, is this just a Mises thing, or are we doing what LNCs have done and the way they have interpreted our bylaws for decades from across the LP spectrum? Be honest, Pinocchio. But I have a few more things to show you. Let's go back here. Turn off the chat off of the screen share for 1 second because I want to show you some LNC minutes. So we're going to go to a screen share. So this is the minutes from April 29th, so it would have been right after that letter, or right around the time of that letter. Mr. Butler suggested that the LNC formally indicate its support of the affiliate party of Arizona. A motion to affirm the actions of the chair in support of the recognized as their Arizona affiliate. The motion passed unanimously. Oh, so the LNC can take these kinds of votes. Interesting. I thought this was just a concoction of the Mises Caucus. And they're talking now, we're looking at minutes from August 26. By then, the Pima County Party had sued the state party. And Mr. Dosbach was going to take a position in this lawsuit. Mr. Dosbach said that in relation to the lawsuit, it was the position of the national party that the state party of Arizona, chaired by Ms. Clark, was the official state affiliate. All materials collected at the Arizona convention were forwarded to Bill Hall. Mr. Hall said that it was his opinion as to whether or not they could reject the $1 memberships. I have no idea what that is about. So there was just controversies at the convention, but it was the position of the National Libertarian Party that the state party of Arizona, chaired by Ms. Clark, was the official state affiliate. Nathan was asking for a copy of these minutes. If you go, everything I show you guys is publicly available. So if you go to Lpedia, you go to list of LNC meetings, go to 1990s, whoops, and they're here. So I think we read this April one and this August one. So if you click on minutes, and here they are first in text, but if you want to look at what we were looking at, you just hit the PDF and here it is. So those are all available on Lpedia. Those letters I had read to you are available on Lpedia as well. Okay, so let's go back. Every once in a while my screen gets a little weird, so I'm going to put back up. So I hope you found that interesting. You don't have to agree with the actions that are being taken now, but just be consistent and not agree with the actions that were taken in 1995. And Mr. Dosbach, be honest about it. And also, I don't know whether you should take heart or be depressed, but this is par for course. It always has been. I don't want to say it always will be because that's freaking depressing. But like I like to somewhat channel Ben Shapiro in saying history does not care about our feelings. We can hope that things work out. What I find very interesting to me is you know, in going through the records, I did not see a lot of emails, and there were emails then. It was actually distribution lists. There were massive distribution lists. So there was emails from that time with a lot of familiar names in it. And there was a lot of controversy over that resignation I mentioned earlier, a lot of emails about that. But I didn't see any, or if there were, I don't remember. It certainly wasn't anything that made an impression upon me about this issue. These decisions of the LNC choosing between groups by examining bylaws just wasn't something that the average party member got worked up over, which I think really goes to show, and the bylaws in these instances are exactly the same. The bylaws have not changed in those provisions. So to me, that is really good evidence, because a lot of the same people are around today that were around then. Obviously, there's a lot of new people as well. But this really shows to me that this is a politically motivated drama, that this is standard operating procedure for the LNC. And it isn't because we even knew about it, because obviously I just found this stuff when I'm perusing through stuff. But this is, and because we didn't know it, we can't even say, oh, we were following precedent. It's because it's the logical reading of the bylaws. That's how two ideologically opposite LNCs came to the exact same conclusion, because it's the reasonable and responsible interpretation of the duties of the National Committee. That's why. And that makes me absolutely convinced that the drama today is just caucus motivated, and it's not motivated by principle. It might be for some people, but overall it's not. Nathan said, am I reading this right? Gary Johnson at large in 95. Different Gary Johnson. If you go to LPedia, if you type in Gary Johnson, let's do that actually. Let's do this chat here. Let's go back to LPedia. I need to get to my screen. And if you type Gary Johnson in the search box, you'll see this. There's a disambiguation page. So there's more than one Gary Johnson in libertarian circles. Gary Earl Johnson, 2012 and 2016 presidential candidate in New Mexico governor. Gary Edward Johnson, so they were both Gary E. LNC member, and that's who you saw. SLEC member and 1990 Texas U.S. Senate candidate. And W. Gary Johnson, 1990 New York gubernatorial candidate and Libertarian Party of New York state chair. So who you were seeing in those minutes, Nathan, is Gary Edward Johnson. And if you look here, look, LNC Region 13 representative. We used to have 20 regions in the 80s. My God. But anyway, yes, he was Region 13 rep. But he has a long, and this list is known to be incomplete, storied history. Oh, I need to create that category there. Texas State Party media directors. Okay. That's going to bug me. Back to this screen. Right, that's all I have for you tonight. So you got 3 shows this weekend. I don't want to hex myself, and I think I got too much saturation. Like, I'm looking really kind of Oompa Loompa in this video screen. I don't know whether it's my screen, but let's take down, no, that looks better. I don't look quite so orange. I don't know, it's kind of weird lighting right now. Anyway, that is it for this evening. I do hope you found this. It's still a really weird color. Is that better? I think that's a little better. I don't know. I'm not good with lighting. So I hope you found this jaunt through history at least interesting, and it gives you a little bit of context on today that whatever your criticisms might be, it can't be that we're acting unreasonably. So I hope you have an awesome evening. Mi guapas de libertad.
given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business, not because they want to